Hey guys, today's goal is to review 5 books in 5 minutes, which is 1 minute each. If you've been around here for any length of time, you'll know that it's hard for me to review a single book in less than 15 minutes, so this is going to be a challenge. All of the books will be listed and linked in the description below, as well as having their full synopsis, because I can't waste time on shit like that. I've only got 5 minutes. Let's get into it. First up is Between Frost and Fury by Cheney Lynn Feiner. This is the sequel to Amid Stars and Darkness. A lot of my feelings are very similar. I don't know why I find this series so addicting, because objectively it has a lot of things that irritate the piss out of me. Bad habits in the writing, utterly predictable and completely over the top, and yet I ate it up. So the bulk of what I said in the review for the first one still applies. I think it has improved, but all of that, it's pretty much, you can visit that and get like more in-depth thoughts on what I think, because I still think it. I don't buy the aliens. I find the world building a little cheesy and not quite enough to satisfy me. And in this one especially, it really brought home that I don't think that she has a good enough handle on the world building, or she can't convey it, because I don't understand so much about how the world is structured, how big it is, how far apart these cities are, how many people they are. I can't get a handle on that, and it's an alien world. I kind of need to know those things. Speaking of, the aliens still don't seem alien enough to me. I don't think they ever will. And they're still cheesy. I don't understand why they all look so much like us. I don't understand why they all dress so skimpily, especially because it turns out it's real cold there. So, that said, I might have enjoyed this and found this one more meritful. Is that the opposite of meritless? Not that the first one was meritless, because as you know, I liked it. We're going over a minute, goddammit. This one raised some questions, laid the groundwork for book 3 really well. I thought the romance aspect in this built a little more slowly and a little more believably. It actually did make me conflicted. This is, of course, a triangle. The series is a triangle. I didn't think that I was going to be convinced on the other leg of the triangle, even though I kind of like him. Something about those bad boys. But I buy it, and I like it. So, needless to say, I've got issues, and I want book 3 ASAP. Next is Would Be Witch by Kimberly Frost. This is kind of urban fantasy, but not urban because it's southern. Set in Texas. I had a fairly good idea of the place. It had a world, and I enjoyed it. However, this one is flawed too. I would like to read more of the series. There was something about it that was engaging, but this definitely suffered from too many ideas. Now, that's not a deal breaker for me, because an author can always be reined in. You can pull some of those ideas back. You know, you can pare them down. They should have been, because like everything was thrown into the pot to boil in this one. It was just way, way too much. It didn't leave any room for the series to grow. It crammed in so much. Like normally in an urban fantasy, you start off, you've got like your one thing. You've got your one main issue, maybe your one main like magical element or creature. And then as the series grows, suddenly all these other ones start creeping in bit by bit, and you're like, oh, okay, well, this series about zombies, of course there's vampires in this world too, of course there's werewolves in this world too, but you get to them as time builds. Not all at once, and then like just brushed off. Like everything is introduced so quickly and then just gone, just kind of fizzles. And that was really disappointing. Never a satisfying resolution to any of them. That was really frustrating. This is also a triangle, because you can't have a book without a love triangle in it anymore. Oh my god. And I wish it would have been a little better developed. It was an intriguing one though. It was one I like more than I tend to like them. So I'm there. I'm with you. I'm willing to explore it some more. But like, give me some anticipation and some build up and some like fireworks, you know? Rather than everyone in this town fawning over the main character. Give me some conflict. Make them work at it. There's way too much dialogue in this. I feel like there have been some books that I've read lately that are just so much talk that it becomes really unnatural. Like, people don't say all of these things in conversation. They certainly don't put all of their exposition into conversation. That's weird. It's weird. And also, that spills over into the narration style. So Tammy Jo, her narration style is like that. It's very chatty. It suits her character and how it's a little chaotic, but it just makes the thing seem a little silly and a little cheesy and juvenile, I guess. Scatterbrained. It felt very scatterbrained. Again, it suits her, but that doesn't necessarily make it work as a story. So it had some flaws, but I don't know if this is a series. If it is, I would read more. I hope to see it grow. If it didn't grow, I'd probably give it up. But it was fun. It was fun. You were fun. Flawed but fun might be the theme of some of these. most of them. Half of them. One that wasn't flawed and wasn't fun, fun's not the right word for it, is Garden Spells by Sarah Addison Allen. Now wait, because I'm not saying that because it wasn't fun that it wasn't good, because this, as you may know, ended up in my favorite book so far this year. I will link that video. You can hear me talk more about it there. It was just everything. You were everything. It was everything I wanted it to be. What I thought practical magic would be. Exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about soft magical realism. Your magical sort of elements being everyday, like being able to cut the perfect hairstyle, you know, to suit someone and to make them like just right. Little silly things like that as a magical element, just, oh, they charm the socks off me. I love it. It does feel rushed in the end, and I feel like the buildup of the kind of villainous aspect really fizzled out disappointingly and way, way too quickly. But other than that, Next, we have When Life Gives You Demons by Jennifer Honeyborn. Yes. This is another one on the flawed side of this video. Not that it's bad, but first of all, I was expecting it to be very funny. With a title like this and the kind of silliness of it, I was thinking it was going to be very humorous and funny and remind me maybe of Rachel Hawkins or something like that. And it's not really. I don't think that's necessarily its goal. I don't think it's trying to be funny and cheeky and snarky. So maybe it's just my misinterpretation, or maybe it's a bad pairing of cover and title with story, but it doesn't really, if you're picking it up like me thinking it's going to be this funny snarky thing, and you're not really going to get that. For a book published by Swoon Reads, which obviously is a romance imprint, I thought the romance and the chemistry definitely could have been bumped up, because to me, I felt like I knew that they were the romance and that I was supposed to find them romantic just because they were the characters that were supposed to be romantic, but not because I actually did. This was much more a problem book about a girl whose mother is gone out of her life, missing, something's going on, and her struggles with being an exorcist. You know, your everyday normal stuff that teenagers go through. That was really more the focus than snarky humor or romance, which is what I was expecting. It felt rushed, especially the end, like really, really unfortunately rushed and way too easily wrapped up. And I guess wanted it to dig a little deeper, even for something that is kind of fluffy. I just wanted a little bit more. But it was fun, it was engaging, it was quick. Lastly, we have an ebook that I read. This is a short story anthology. We are probably so well over 5 minutes. It's a short story anthology called Toil in Trouble, edited by Jessica Spotswood and Tess Sharp. As with all short story anthologies, there are going to be hits, there are going to be misses. Fortunately, a lot more of these were hits for me than misses. There were some stories that I really, really liked. This is all stories about witches, and it's got a definite feminist bent. It's very of the moment. There is a lot of sort of inclusive and own voices storytelling. A really good broad spectrum of contemporary, historical, futuristic, otherworld-ish, dystopian maybe. Just a really good broad range, but at the same time, even though they are such different stories and they have their own tones as far as narrators and things, it felt like a really cohesive unit. Partly due, I would say, to the editing. They curated a lot of great stories and maybe gave great direction to make it feel like this collection of stories belonged together, which I really have to commend them for, because you don't always get that in an anthology. Witches is enough of a unifying theme for most people than not really have stories that are anything like each other or read like and would appeal to the same reader who's reading across the whole story selection. Some of them I wanted more. Like there were some worlds that were introduced and characters that were introduced that I was like, oh, I need more of this ASAP. I need this to be a full book. I'm looking at you, Lindsay Smith. Oh, I want more. Girl, I want more. So I know a lot of people are kind of hesitant when it comes to anthologies. It's just not their thing. They don't like short stories. None of these are so super short that you're gonna feel shortchanged, I guess. You're not gonna feel like you have been stiffed on story and you haven't gotten enough. So if you're a person that doesn't generally love anthologies, I would say look into this one. It's a great way to discover some new authors. There were plenty in here that I had never read and some that I'm very curious about now. It's a really good, focused, curated collection, and there are some real knockout moments and knockout characters, so I definitely recommend it. So hopefully I'm able to edit this down into 5 minutes-ish. We'll see. But that is what I thought of all of these and Toil in Trouble. If you've read any of them, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear them, and if you've been wanting to read any of them, let me know which ones and why. If you have similar reads, recommend them to me, because even though I had some issues, I did actually like all of these. And if you would like to see more 5 in 5 videos, if this wasn't too chaotic and crammed for you, let me know that too. YouTube has a short attention span, so maybe some of you will be like, yes, finally a video from Misty under 10 minutes. Probably won't happen again for a while. But that is all for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, happy reading!